Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Fortnitely podcast. I am BritBoy96, and I'm afraid I'm running solo this week. The boys are currently not with me, as you can hear. So yeah, it's just me running solo for this episode. I do apologise. I was really hoping the first one back for this new season was going to be all three of us, but I'm afraid it's not been able to happen. But moving straight into this, there's not much to get into this for this episode, so I'm gonna just give you a brief rundown of what I'm gonna talk about in this episode, because obviously it's just me, and we all know these don't particularly last long when it's just me, because I have nobody to talk to. But yeah, I'm going to briefly break down the small bits that we got as part of the V2610 update, which is the first update of the new chapter. I'm going to give you my thoughts and feelings on the new chapter, and then I'm going to talk through some big news, which actually I'll start with because it's probably the most important thing, because it kind of involves the whole future of Fortnite. So for anyone that doesn't know, Donald Mustard was formerly the chief creative officer for Epic Games. He was overseeing and in charge of the general creative side of Fortnite. So that's direction for storyline, for the integration of characters that they were borrowing from other IPs and stuff like that, and the IPs that they wanted to do. A lot of the collabs that all sort of was overseen by Donald Mustard. Is actually retiring at the end of this month. It's unknown currently whether that's retiring completely or just retiring from his role at Epic Games. He said that he's retiring from the position, but he hasn't speculated on whether it's a full retirement or just a retirement from that specific role. But needless to say, he will no longer be doing the chief creative officer of Epic Games going forward. But never fear, we already know who's replacing him. A gentleman called Charlie Wen, who is best known for his work on the God of War franchise. He helped create that, and he's got a massive background in character development, so hopefully, fingers crossed, the Fortnite OG original content skins will see a change in style, and we might actually get some nice ones. No offense, Donald, or your creative team, but they've been kind of lacking recently. But yeah, so we've got new Charlie Wren's coming over. Another big thing that he's done, as well as with God of War, is he was massively involved with the beginning half of the MCU. Most of his work has been on the first three, potentially first two Thor movies, including Avengers Assemble. Massive part of the design and creative and looking aspects for all those movies. He has done some other stuff, but yeah, Marvel and God of War are probably the two most famous things that you would have seen a lot of. But yeah, he's massively into those. It sounds, from what I've seen online, there's a lot of backing towards him. Mr. Wen, I'm glad you're here. Will never hear this podcast episode anyway, but yeah, I'm really excited to see what you bring to the table, and the direction you're going to take it in. I mean, we'd love to sit you down and have a chat with you, but, we can only dream. Hopefully that's going to be fun. It's going to take Fortnite, hopefully, in a completely new direction. Might get back on this hopefully is kind of the reason why the Fortnite storyline's kind of been all over the place this season. The suspicion seems to have been insinuated that he's been with the company since June. So this has been like a massive crossover period for them to sort of set up Charlie Wen in the right way. Hopefully that's kind of why the storyline within Fortnite has fallen off a cliff this chapter, and hopefully as soon as Charlie Wen takes over the reins at the end of this month and it's in full flight on his own, hopefully we're going to see this just get back on board and get right back into the nitty-gritty. It looks like he's done some pretty good work. I mean, the God of War franchise and Kratos in general, because I know he had a massive part to do with the creation of that character, I believe. So I'm excited to see what comes from him, especially as Kratos is in the game. Let's hope we get some Kratos NPCs as Easter eggs at some point. But yeah, that's probably the biggest news coming out of the last month since we last did an episode. Chapter 4 Season 4 is here, and it seems to be going really. It's called Last Resort for anyone that hasn't played it yet, and I 10 out of 10 recommend it. It's probably so far, in the first 3 weeks that it's been out, my favourite first 3 weeks of any season this chapter. The gameplay mechanics have really, really been mixed up. You've got finally some actual traversal, because last season was a drag without traversal in all game modes. And there's just so much new stuff added in all at once at the beginning of the season. Yes, it kind of rings true to the system that we've had lately, where it's been big drop at the beginning, big drop in the middle, nothing in between, and it's made the duration of the season horrible. But so far, so good. We've had some small, subtle adjustments and additions this week, which kind of make me a little worried, but it's too early to say that this is going to be a bad season or that this isn't going to be good. I'm just really hoping that Fortnite get back on track on the way that everybody likes Fortnite to run, and not we shove one big thing in and then another big thing. Because I would much rather you get constant changes, so the player base was level all the time, rather than have these brief big moments where all the like mega sweat hard gamers come back for a week, and then those weeks are horrible to play if you're just a casual player, and then they go away, and then Fortnite gets nice and fun and good to play again, and then another big change comes, and it's like, oh yeah, exciting, but it gets pooped on for you because all the sweaty players come back to the game for a week, and then they go away, and then you have time to actually learn how to do all the cool things. But at that point, you're really sick and tired of dying, so you kind of don't enjoy it too much. So let's hopefully, I've lost completely where I was with that because I wasn't paying attention to what I was saying myself. Oh, this is going to be a fun episode, guys. I am so sorry. So yeah, with that in mind, let's break down what's new in Chapter 4, Season 4. So first off, we have the new heist vaults. So they've scrapped off the vaults from last season where you had to kill the high card boss, get the card, put it in the thing, and boom, you got some chests. And this time, we've actually got 3 major vaults around the map. So they're all at the new POIs, that's the word. So you've got Sanguine Suites, Relentless Resort, and I can't remember the name of the other one right now. Eclipse something. Yeah, Eclipse Estate. There you go. Boom. Pretty certain that was accurate. So these are 3 massive big POIs. They're basically like cool little locations. I don't know how to describe them. The theme of them, so they're very modernish looking architecture, and they each have a boss in them. Pretty simple. But basically, the vault is down under stairs, and it's got a high card, and you kill them. But the place is decked out with turrets, mark cameras, and low card guards all over it. You have to fight your way through. You know, whether you're using tactical or just full-out assault. There's some other shortcuts, but we'll get into that at a later date. Probably later on this season, I'm sure if I can get around to it, me and the boys will put together our best tactics guide for breaking into each one of these vaults. We'll probably take one each and figure that out. That will come later on down the line when we're running along content for the podcast. But for today, I'm just going to talk about the overall concept of these vaults. So you go down, you defeat the high card, get the key. You have to jump through a laser reactive wall. That's not the right word. Sensor reactive wall, where if you hit these red markers, basically 2 doors come down and you have to smash through them to get out. But if you can just dodge the lasers and get through, and it's perfectly fine. Then you enter the room. So you get like 3 to 4 chests. At least 2 of them will be legendary most of the time. And then in the center, there are 3, like, what's the word? Oh, I can't think of the word. They're like cabinets. Let's just call them cabinets because I can't think of the actual terminology for them now. I think they are actually cabinets. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it says break cabinet. Anyway, so glass cabinets, like display cabinets, and each one of them. So out of the 3 locations, there are 2 vaults that will have just 2 of these cabinets. There's 1 vault that has 3. But basically, they're filled with a different mythic from previous chapter. So you know how last episode we were talking about the rumored mythics that would be returning, or at least versions of them returning. Turns out they've returned with the exact same guns from the previous season. So you've got the shockwave launcher, the Ziggy's ray gun, you've got the Foundation M7, a boom bow, challenge shotgun, and the endless chug. That's 5. Yeah, it sounds about right. So those are all back in the game. Oh, and the drum gun. No, I said the drum gun already. Okay, so those mythics are in. We've still got the high card AR. We've got the new shotgun with the mythic variant, and that's all. Oh, and a mythic DMR. But the AR, DMR, and the shotgun are found at other locations. Well, actually, the AR and the DMR are dropped by high cards when you defeat them, and the shotgun is found at Loot Lake, which is still in. Cool. Those 5 guns are split across these cabinets, and you have to break them and grab them. But the problem is this: so you can only take one of the guns, weapons from the cabinets in the vault, and then they shut down, and all the alarms go off, and all the guards come at you, and you have to break your way out of the vaults without getting murdered. All that whilst fighting other players, which is kind of fun. I'm not going to lie; it's a good task. 'Cause every now and then, it gets a bit relentless if it's all you're doing in your matches, but it can be a bit of fun that you can throw in from time to time. So that's one of the first major changes as those vaults coming in. One of the next thing is we now have these storm towers. So basically they're big masks, and one high card boss and 2 low card guards will spawn there. You go over, you defeat them, they will drop, depending what game mode you're in. If you're in squads, it's like 4 slurp juices, the gold slurp juices that give you the constant healing for 10 seconds, whatever it is. They will also drop down a legendary version of the new Twin Mag AR, a couple of shockwaves, and the key card for these masts. I can't speak today. Anyway, you take the card up, interact with it, you then get forecasting for the storm circle and for the rest of the match, which I think is a really unique way to do it. It was nice as an augment. I thought it sucked as something that you had to buy for an NPC, but this mask system I think is the best, because it's an additional way to get slurps. It's a little thing for you to do as well, because you're fighting NPCs, so pass its time. And it just, it's like a fight, because there's also 3 of those in the match, so it's kind of a fight to get that when you're in like proper lobbies. But they can really give you an advantage in later games, being able to see where people are going, and really basing the way you're rotating through storm out of it. So that's new. That's pretty much the big major game changes. One of the additional things is that there is some new NPCs as well. So there's 2 new NPCs. You've got Nolan Chance, and the Piper Pit, I think her name is. Characters from the Battle Pass have both NPCs on the island, but this time, instead of them having 2 features, throughout the quests for the snapshot quests, you will unlock new additional features for them. So I think they've got up to 4. And you further get through the quests, the more things they can do for you. So like one sells a gun, and so like Nolan, he sells a gun, sells keys. I think it activates disguise, and then you can hire him, and he's also one of those mark ones. The best bit is he spawned 5 meters away from a future spawn, from one of the forecasting mask spawns. So if you're really lucky, you can get him and the forecast, and you've got future sight plus marking, and it's like having the old augments back. That's really cool. It's nice having them that can do like additional features where you can hire them like before you hire them. It's nice to be able there's 4 options. He's somebody that's got a useful talent as well, so he's really worth hiring. That's an update for this season. So we'll get into the new guns that were added so far. So we now have this season they've swapped out the Red Eye. Red Eye is gone and had been replaced with a Twin Mag AR, which you're probably thinking, that sounds familiar. That's because there was a Twin Mag SMG about 2 seasons ago. This one works in the same concept. It's basically the Red Eye, except from it's got the red dot sort of looking sight, and it's kicked back. That's not the word. Recoil, that's the word I'm looking for. Recoil is dialed up to 1,000, crazy. But it does have the cool twin mag swap over. So you get quite a big mag. It's not a massive mag, but when you consider a mag one side and the other side, it's kind of helpful. So that quick reload in between. But they really caught onto the issue that a lot of people had with the twin mag SMG, is that you had to run both mags before you could put a new mag in. You couldn't just outright swap the mag. You used 1 bullet from the first mag. If you just press X twice, you throw a complete new mag in there. So mid-combat's really handy, and with this new feature, you can just reload out of these situations to stop you being in a sticky situation in a later down line, which kind of takes out the negative side that was of the twin mag. So that's really cool. So there's the Infiltrator shotgun, which is not quite an automatic shotgun, but it's not as slow as the pump. It's quite a bit faster in pumping, but its impact isn't crazy. You can actually pick up a purple one from the NPC as Shattered. From Shattered. He sells a purple one. He also sells 3 keys. So if you're looking for a good tactic, land there, buy the shotgun, get 2 keys, go to the key chest, because the key chest's either side or Shattered, and you can usually pick up some pretty good guns from there. Then there is a scoped SMG, which is effectively just a red dot SMG. Bit of a weird combination, because tendently SMGs aren't for long distance combat, but this one really encourages it. But it is a burst SMG, so it does 3 shots, kind of like your AUG, like an AUG gun. I'm sorry, my knowledge of guns is a bit dated. It's been a while since I played Call of Duty, so I don't know the actual names of guns these days. It's nice having an SMG. There's a new SMG, but got kind of a gimmick to it. So the burst kind of separates it out from everything else, because it's not just a case of how fast can it shoot. It's got like a cool difference. So that's not a bad gun. It's pretty decent. It's okay. We've got a sticky grenade launcher as well, which was added in a hotfix last week, which basically is a grenade launcher, except from they stick. It's not crazy damage, but it can be helpful. We also have rocket rams this season, which are basically kind of like rocket riding if you could rocket ride yourself. So you have a little device, it blows you up into the air, and you're like holding onto a rocket, it launches you for a bit. I want to say about 150 meters-ish. No, it's about 50 meters up, I think, or 15 meters in one direction. But yeah, it flies you for a little bit, and you could smash through builds and stuff and hit players. It's okay. It's a good form of traversal, whilst also being slightly a weapon. Yeah, that's another new thing this season. Overall, I'm really liking the mix of the loot pool so far. There is still, going by the gameplay trailer, it looks like the thermal will be removed at some point and replaced with an adjustable scoped DMR, which will be quite fun. Kind of hoping they just keep both DMRs in, because, you know, I like a bit of variety in my gameplay instead of just having one of one particular gun type. And given that the suppressed sniper is the only other long ranged gun, I would really like to keep the multiple DMRs in. Overall, give it a solid 8 out of 10 for its first 3 weeks this season. I think it's been off to a really strong start. Caches are still there, so you've got a constant supply of those slurps. There are some other vaults, like lesser vaults, around the map. So you've got one at Slappy, there is one at Mega. It's not the old vault, it's now on the other side and underneath the lifts. The one at Mega? Yeah, there's a few additional vaults that are B tier vaults. So there's a lot to keep you going during the matches now. That's a B summary and introduction into Chapter 4, Season 4. Let's jump in to V2610 finally. So with this update came the second wave of the My Hero Academia collab, which came with 4 new additional skins. Now, I do not want to offend anybody or butcher their names, but there's 4 additional characters that aren't the characters we're currently seeing, bit of game, and we've had 1 new mythic added, which is basically an ice wall. A character sort of does a stomp and ice comes up around it. Supposedly, it can block a Deku smash. I have yet to be able to put it into a match and prove that. I've picked them up, but I keep having really bad glitches with it. One where I have to drop it to pick it back up to use it again, and another one where it just does nothing. I found that if you're underneath a build and you try to do it, in a way to smash the builds from above you and take the person to make full damage, which in my head makes sense. According to the game, it does not. The game says, "No, what are you doing? This is not allowed." But yeah, it's not too bad. It's better than having one of these big blowy anime weapons again. I cannot do with another Kamara. They have brought the Deku Smash back as well as part of this collab, but as long as there's not another big blowy one, it's fine. I can have one of the blowy ones come back, but I don't need 2 big blowy ones at once. Yes, I'm making this slightly humorous for some people. I hope you enjoy that. But yeah, so that's kind of fun. Other things that were updated in this update. So we got 2 new augments. Actually, I should probably count all the new augments that have come along this season. But I'll talk about the 2 new ones, and I will try and find the other new ones afterwards and give you a breakdown. But the 2 new augments, well, they're not really new. One of them, I'm pretty certain we had under a different name, and the other one we had, but it got voided very fast, and then it came back, and then it was voided today, and then it's back in via a hotfix. So basically, no, it's not back. The item is back, but the augment is not. Ignore that last comment, it was incredibly wrong. So game time has been returned, but that is currently not in the game as of a hotfix. Due to some issue, they haven't addressed exactly what the issue is, but in case you hadn't heard, game time is the augment that gives you a party pizza because they've been vaulted, and some chuck splashes, which is weird because they're vaulted. But to account for the party pizza being back in, slap juices have been vaulted. I'll just repeat that because I said that very quickly. So slap juices are out, party pizza, which if you weren't aware is a pizza you throw down on the floor as heals, and it gives you 12 slices. So previously you could only eat half a pizza yourself, the other half you had to share with your team, and they'd only take you up to 150 health and shield. Now you can basically keep healing until you're full, but they don't heal health as much. It's the first one gives you I think 30 health, and then every other slice after that is 10 health. But they do give you a fair bit of shield. It takes about 3 or 4 slices, but you're back to full shield pretty fast. So they've reworked it, which kind of works. It's a good way not to camp. They've kind of made it so you can't camp storm with it so easily now. So really good augment. Yeah, so that's back. And then we've basically got a reckless SMG reload reality augment, which is basically when your SMG mag is empty, you reload faster. I wish they would stop making augments for these things. I don't care for I've used the whole magazine. Let me have a faster reload compared to if I just reloaded in between combats. I don't care for those. They don't appeal to me. I make sure I don't need to reload during combat because I swap guns if I need to reload. And if they're not dead at that point, after 3 different guns have used all their mags, then I just deserve to be limbed. So these augments don't appeal to me. But hopefully you might all have a different opinion than me. I don't know. It's just a rule I have. Like, if I've fired 3 different guns at you and you aren't down, I just don't deserve to be in this match anymore. Please take me back to the lobby. Maybe I'm weird for carrying 3 different guns, but I like the options of variety based on situation. You know, I'm not the sort of guy that goes, I have one thing and it fits everything. I like my variables. I like to be able to go, I need this for that for this, and any situation I'm covered in. But I will still always find a situation I haven't accounted for. Obviously, because the My Hero Academia is back, so is their almighty supply drops. That's pretty much it. And there's some new challenges to go with the Deku with the My Hero stuff being back. But that is the majority of the stuff that was added in this update. The rest of it was mostly cosmetics. So you got the 4 new skins and the superstars and the additional bonus awards and all those malarkeys. But that was the major changes. So nothing crazy fun, I'm afraid. Augments for Chapter 4, Season 4. So far, you've got the 2 new ones, Game Time and the SMG, Reckless SMG thing. But we've got Roaming Redeploy, which is gain a glider, redeploy whenever you gain immunity to fall damage, which isn't new. Pretty sure that was in last season, but yeah, that's cool. There's Scoped Salvoy? I can't say that. SALVO. So scoped weapons deal increased damage at the cost of decreased fire rate. You've got SMG sign off, which is one we've had before, so it's the last 3 bullets, but it's now last 4 bullets of where SMG deal bonus damage. Ammo drop, so not only grants ammo but makes it so that enemies drop more ammo than usual. Explosive surplus, instantly gain rocket ammo. Any containers opened will also contain rocket ammo. Swim faster and instantly loots fishing spots when swimming through them, but you don't get the healing effect from the last augment of Simmer. You get First Assault, which is the first bullet from your assault rifle that deals bonus damage. First Shotgun will deal increased damage on the first shot, but that won't increase headshot damage or max rarity. High Voltage, which is instantly gain a business turret, which is another new thing this season. They're little turrets that you throw down that kind of operate like the sentries from Call of Duty. Picks an opponent nearby and shoots them for you. Instantly gain a business turret and a shield breaking EMP, which is a little bomb that disables anything electronic or breaks or does 70 damage to an opponent's shield. But yeah, you get those items if you activate this augment. You get Keymaster is still there, so you get 2 keys with that one. Light Fingers, which is any weapons using light ammo reload faster. We've got Medium Ammo acquired, which I'm not even going to repeat what it means because I'm pretty sure you get the concept. Mod Warrior is still there. More parkour. Yeah, on the go bag basically gives you a traversal item, whether it's a slap splash, the jumping crash pads, the mini pads, or a shockwave. Rarity check augment, which is gain siphon on eliminations with common and uncommon weapons. Sniper striker, which is snipers give siphon upon damaging enemies. I'm pretty sure that's sniper siphon. No, it's sniper striker. And then sprint lines is back. Steady hands is back. Storm chaser, which is reduce the amount of energy drained while sprinting. The drain will be more reduced while in the storm. And then supercharge returns. That's pretty much all the augments so far this chapter. They're not bad ones. I still want one that gives me a 10. Come on, Epic Games. Give me my tents back. Stop hiding the tents from me. You keep teasing me by putting tents at all the non-named locations. So give me my tent item back, please. So yeah, that's pretty much everything to fill you in on this season. So I'm going to wrap this episode up here. I'm sure you're probably sick and tired of hearing my very boring voice on its own. I'm hoping to have the boys back with me to do some more episodes soon. I do know that I'm sure he would want me to give this a shout out, so I'm going to give it a shout out so you can all go and follow it and be really cool and kind if you support us. You can all access my TikToks and YouTubes through the links in this episode details, but Commander24 now has his own YouTube channel, All Things Gaming. There you go, that is it on YouTube, All Things Gaming. @ anything gaming -MJ8RN. So yeah, go check out Commander24's YouTube channel. I believe Falcon Hunter is building one, but I cannot remember the username off my top of my head. I am very sorry, Falcon Hunter. But yeah, go check those guys out on YouTube. Drop them a follow if you support us. Also, go follow me if you're not following me. I'm BritBoy96 on all social media. And go follow our Fortnitely podcast social media. We aren't on YouTube yet. I just post this via my own YouTube channel in its own little playlist with a little bit of like dodgy gameplay. But yeah, definitely go check out my TikTok, my Instagram. Go drop us a follow, and yeah, thank you very much for tuning in. I am sorry it's been a while, and I'm sorry this episode hasn't been as good as they usually are. Hopefully we'll be back on format soon. Sorry, trying to juggle this when you don't have all the time in the world is fun. Yeah. Anyway, thank you for checking us out. If this is your first time, I've been BritBoy96. I usually have 2 co-hosts with me, but yeah, thank you very much for checking us out. Good evening, goodbye. See you soon. Don't forget to thank the bus driver, and best of luck in game. Bye.